You on your mobile or?
Yes.
Has joined the conference.
Gil McKay.
Has joined the conference.
Depending on what phone you're using, there should be a setting on there to mute it.
Okay.
Hello?
No.
Wait. No, we're still waiting for a few more people to join. I think Grace is on the way down.
1 minute late.
In there now. Just confirming with the people who are on the line, if you can see my screen.
All Tom's.
Has joined the conference.
Can people see my screen?
Has joined the conference.
Yep.
Yep, perfect. We're just gonna wait a little bit. Give people a chance to join. I understand that we're calling in from different places and using the WebEx. It can be a little bit difficult.
Has joined the conference.
I mean, I myself am doing this for one of the first times.
Roger Thomas.
Has joined the conference.
Doing this for the first time, so we've started recording.
Mario Spagnolo.
I hope that
has joined the conference.
Maggie
has joined the conference.
Hello.
Hello.
We're waiting a little bit for other people to join.
Okay.
I don't know how many people are coming in the room. Yeah.
Webcell
has joined the conference.
So those that are on the line
has joined the conference.
Those that are on the line, if when we begin, if I could ask that you mute your phones, if you know how to do that. If you're on a mobile handset, there's normally an extra setting where you can mute it. Those who are at your desks, there should be a microphone with a cross through it that you can press that will mute it. Just so when we record this, we can get through it, and then at the end I'll take all your questions. Those of you who are logging in, you can actually follow what we're doing. There's in my group, Office Max Administrator. Sunil Gaur
has joined the conference.
You can see that I've put a post up there, Salesforce Back to Basics Guide. You can go in there and you can see some of the terminology and that sort of thing.
Vicky Grievous
has joined the conference.
So everyone seems to be joining now.
I'm Julie Shulman, by the way. Start again, James.
Michael Kennington
has joined the conference.
Have you booked? I haven't booked it. Have you booked it? Yes. Was it just then? You need it? So I need the VC. Can you use another phone?
Actually, we were going to put this on that, but.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Yeah.
Trying to get everyone involved, but everyone's all over the place. So good now that I've figured out how to record session, and people can watch it at a later stage.
Yeah.
I've been doing training sessions this 1 week, covering the basics, and I thought, well, there's got to be a way that
has joined the conference.
God.
Do a big one, and then we can do specialised training sessions like reports or case management or that sort of thing.
Has left the conference.
Left.
Yeah, oh God. I'm already not popular. All right, well, maybe we'll get the show on the road. It seems like we got everyone on here. So for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm James Sta-Maria, or I'm that smiley face guy that's spamming you every day in your inbox or in your chatter feed. I had someone in WA tell me that I'm a Salesforce celebrity. So that's the first that I've heard. But yeah, I'm James Sta-Maria. I've been working with Salesforce, the CRM, for about 3 years. My background isn't IT, it's actually sales and customer service, so I kind of just wiggled my way into being an administrator. I've been with Office Max now coming up to 3 months, so if I do really badly, you can tell Paula Hay to not let me pass probation. But yeah, other than that, I've just been learning about the business, and I'm here to show you guys just all the basic functionality and features of Salesforce. So the purpose of this training really is to leverage Salesforce as a tool to improve customer experience. Customers are our #1 priority. I want to give you a better understanding of Salesforce so you spend less time looking for your information and more time actually using it as a tool. And I also, for people who have already been using it, bridge any functional knowledge gaps since the deployment and rollout. Now, there's a high-level view of all the features and functionality. I won't be covering any specific processes. A lot of the processes are different. We've got a big, colourful group of people here. So I don't want to go into any
joined the conference
process. We'll be going through the high-level features and functionality. So I'll give you an introduction and history of our Salesforce with regards to Office Max. We'll then go into navigating the homepage, customizing your settings, looking at accounts and contacts, leads and opportunities, case management, reports and dashboards, activities and tasks, chatter and ideas, and then we'll open up the call for any questions and feedback. So how does Salesforce work? Well, if you use a social media tool like Facebook, then Salesforce works like that. But instead of you connecting to people, you're connecting to your records, your cases, your accounts. They are made as a relationship. Salesforce works in that same way. It uses databases linked together like worksheets in an Excel workbook. Salesforce links them all together. It uses social media tools so you can like records, you can share records, you can push them across. It also incorporates a collaboration. It allows people to work together on different records. The reporting and dashboard functionality is very simple. It's drag and drop. Very easy to use. You can build a report that highlights all your accounts within 5 seconds. It manages all our inbound correspondence, and we can also manage our sales pipelines from the initial lead, the initial interest, through to closing the deal through to won or lost. Office Max has been using Salesforce for approximately 6 months. We did a quick deployment. It's unheard of in the industry that we did it within 6 weeks, rolled it out, and then you guys have been using it and pretty much pulled across all your processes straight across the Salesforce. So it's the first that I've heard of, but it's great that everyone has taken it on board with such a positive attitude. We have 400 active users across ANZ, and we have an integration with our Pronto system that refreshes every night. So at this point, I forget about going in the PowerPoint. I move on to actual Salesforce itself. And here is Salesforce, and this is my login page. I'll just make it so you can see it a bit better. And this has all my information, everything that I want to look at in terms of my system. So this has the last dashboard that I was looking at. It then goes down into showing my tasks, so any activities that I have open, anything that I need to do within Salesforce or with my customer records. I then have my calendar, which I've got integrated in here, and we're looking at rolling this out into the greater business at some point. On the side here, we've got the most recent items, so my most recent records that I've been looking at. So I'll just remind you, those that are on the line, could you please mute your phone? We have a quick create You can create records quickly on the fly. And we just recently set up the Quote of the Day app, so you can inspire yourself to work harder every day. This sidebar, as you saw before, can collapse, so it gives you a little bit more room here. Then we obviously have your different menus, so leads, accounts. You can actually customize this the way you like it. Now, with getting into Salesforce, it's very simple. You got to think you're logging into Salesforce, so login.salesforce.com. You'll be greeted with a login page like this, username, password. Check that box before you hit this one. That way, when you come back, you have what I have, and you can have your username in there. Saves you a bit of time. Forget your password, click this one here, follow the prompts. It will shoot you an email. Follow the prompts again, and you've reset your password, and you're back in the system. Going back in the system, you can customize your settings in two ways. You'll learn that with Salesforce, there's not just one way to do things. There's about at least 2 or 3 ways to do things. So you can click on your name here, which gives you your profile view, and then you can go into your user detail and change your password. Alternatively, from every view, you've always got this header. You can click your name, setup. It will take you to this page. So for you guys who are not administrators, you'll be greeted with a personal setup like this. And from here, you can edit your information here or change your password. So I normally recommend with your password, make your password in Salesforce the same as your LAN password. It just means one less thing to remember. So let's go into accounts. Accounts are our clients, our customers. These clients here are integrated with Pronto. What Pronto does is, as we make a change in Pronto, we then pull across that information from Pronto within Salesforce overnight. Happens at around about 5 AM when everyone's sleeping, and it updates all the information or changes that happen in Pronto. Pronto controls a lot of the information here, so once you actually have an account that's been integrated, you will not be able to change any of these fields. The account page is made up of a couple of things. So obviously you have the name of the account here, which is actually the Pronto ID, and then you have the Pronto account name, which is the actual account name. At the top of the page, we have a couple of social media tools here, so you can actually, if you're signed into Facebook or Twitter or whatever, you can actually search up the customer and find out information about them. For those who are in sales, it's one of those things where you know everything about your client before you start talking to them or before you start having meetings with them. As we go down here, we then have a show feed. So if there's been any changes, you can see it in here. You can write something about it, or you can like
Has
it.
joined the conference.
You can hide that feed there as well. You can then come across here, and these are what we call related lists. So these are all the information that relate to this account. And you can see as I hover over the top of them, it shows all the records in the view. If I wanted to go to, let's say, the activity history here, I can click on that there, and it brings me straight down the bottom of the
Has
page.
joined the conference.
The layout of the page is fairly simple. This has all the account information, everything related to this customer, okay? As we go down, we then have all the related lists. So what we have here is we have contacts that have a relationship to the account. So if I click on this contact, this is related to the account by this account name here, and we see there's a direct link here. In the back of your heads, I want you to think about if you use a social media tool like Facebook, it shows you when it's linking to other people or other groups.
Michael Hill
Has joined the conference.
So as you work down your page, you'll see everything that relates to this client here. So we'll go into those bits as we go along. What I do want to show you here is some of these different fields. If you're going to get into building reports, it's good to know what these fields do. So fields like this one here, a parent account, this is what we call a lookup field. It actually looks up another account to set as a parent to this one. Okay, so this is a lookup type field. We have fields like this, Omax client, which is just a free text field. You can put whatever you want in there and you can save that off. You have fields like this channel field, which are what we call a pick list field. So there's a defined list here, and you choose one from there. We have pick lists like here, which are dependent. So if you choose one here, it will then ask you to choose another one from here. And what I can't show you in here is multi-select pick lists, which is very much the same as this, but you can select more than one to come across. We have phone number fields where you can only enter a telephone number. Website fields, which will, when you enter an address, it will turn into a hyperlink. And then obviously these fields here on the account page is Pronto. You won't be able to touch any of that because Pronto controls that. So any changes that you want here, you need to have done within Pronto. So that's usually done by a hits call. Going into contacts. Contacts are, I guess, the people that we deal with within the businesses, you know, our procurement managers, as we have here, the GM for business improvement here. We have everything that relates to this contact, so phone, mobile, emails. This probably isn't the best example because it's not filled out, but if I give you a test account, something that I prepared earlier, we can see that we have the telephone numbers here, mobile numbers, email addresses, which then become hyperlinks. We can see what they're interested in, titles. If this person doesn't want to be contacted about any sort of promotional material, then we can put that in there. We can then say that this is an active contact. If the person leaves the business, we can uncheck that. We have mailing address information here. We have additional information here where this person came on board. So the thing with Salesforce is that the more information that you put in here, the more fields that you enter information for, the more that you'll get out of it later down the track. I'll now move on to leads. So leads are considered to be the initial interest in our products and services. Leads can come from a variety of sources. You can generally see those within here, and we can record them along here. So we have account manager, if it came from a BDM, we've got Facebook, different events, online, websites, that sort of thing. So it's good to fill out this information here so then we can, down the track, know where to sort of aim our marketing campaigns at. The lead, you'll see, has very much the same layout as the accounts and the contacts in that you have your social media tools here to find out about this person on the World Wide Web. You then have the information about the lead itself, followed by the related lists down the bottom here. So obviously, if you're a person that's working on the lead, you would actually change this into your ownership. You would then confirm that as being a lead that you want to work with, qualified, and you would then start creating task and event here. I'm not going to save those changes there. If you make any changes, there's two ways you can do it. You can click on there and add a change in there and a change in there and go, okay, this is what we call a quick edit, and you save that off. Alternatively, you can go into the hard edit mode where you press that button, and that takes you into this page here where you can enter all your information. One thing I'll tell you about leads, this is also the same with cases. To make sure the assignment rules do not take the lead or the case out of your ownership, just uncheck that box and save it, and that will keep it in your ownership. If that is ticked, then what we have is some rules that happen in the background. For leads, for example, it will look at that assignment state, and it will send this off to the sales support queue based on the state. For cases, it's a lot more difficult and long, and I could be here all day. But yeah, if you don't want the case to be sent off, untick that box. If you do want it to be sent off, then you just leave that ticked and let it save. So leads are our initial interest. Once you've sort of finished working on a lead and you know that it's going to become a sales opportunity, all we get you to do is we get you to change this lead status into qualified. We'll save that off, which I won't do because this is a live record, and then we would convert this. When you convert it, what it actually does, it actually creates an account. It also creates an opportunity, so you can choose the name of the opportunity here, and I might just put office products. and that will actually create an account. I can create a brand new account, or I can attach it. It's found an existing account already within Salesforce that I can attach it to, and then I can convert that across, and it will create an account and an opportunity. So it converts a lead, an initial interest, into an account with an opportunity, which is an actual sales process. So opportunities actually look at our sales processes. So this is actually tracking the sales opportunity from the beginning, right at the start, through to when we actually close it off. So this is one that was a lead. I've converted it across into an opportunity, and it starts off as an unqualified prospect and list. And we can then change that into a qualify, and you'll see that the probability changes depending on how high up you go in the stages. So closed won is obviously 100%, closed lost 0%. And we have contract negotiation, so you can see those are changing. So I'll save that as contract negotiation. If I want to do any other changes here, I can add a category. Let's see, I'll do technology, because then it'll ask me for a technology vendor. I'll say this is for Apple products. Okay, you can save those changes off. The other thing which is good to note is that when you make any changes, or if someone else makes changes, the last modified will actually change to when that happens. So everything that happens in Salesforce is recorded. We can see who did it. So there's complete accountability for anything that happens in here. And we can actually do reports based on different changes for records. With an opportunity, you would work through this up until the closure. So when it is closed won, okay, save that off. Everything's fine. This has been won. We've just won this opportunity against Test Company, and we've made a great big $1. Alternatively, if you lose, you're then asked to give a reason what happened to you. Could be service. Let me save that one off. So you'll work through that. You can then also log calls, so meetings that you have, calls that you have with the client.
Jen
has joined the conference.
You can add people that accompanied you on those meetings, and you can send notification emails or remove those notification emails. It gives you options to add additional tasks if after that meeting you then need to maybe make a phone call or do something else. You can actually record that as well in one go. And just like you do in your Outlook, you then have an option for reminders. So basically, when you look at an opportunity or a sales process, you have all the information that relates to it. Down the bottom, an additional related list is the stage history, so how this opportunity has progressed from the initial inception into the account through to being closed off. And also the history, different stages, and when they have changed. If I go back to the top, one thing I'll let you know is the opportunity owner is the only one who can make changes on this opportunity apart from the account owner. The account owner and opportunity owner, if they were different, they'd be able to make changes on this record. Since I'm a system administrator, I can sort of do whatever the hell that I want in here. So that's why you'll see me sort of changing these fields as I need to. I'll now move on to the case management. The cases are our interactions that come through from our clients. We have a lot of cases that are coming through our client care email, and they'll initially go into this queue here, client care. So you have the ability to see different queues. However, if you try to do anything on these records and you're not part of the queue, then you'll say that you'll be stopped in your tracks. Client care basically receive all the initial emails and interactions that come through. The phone calls that come through here will be created as a case, and they will then be forwarded across to the necessary department. So here is a case that's come through, and looks like this has come through by email. It gets automatically completed by our system as it comes through. It will fill out all the information here, case types and reasons. It will then add the subject and description here. As a case is being worked on, the most recent comment is added in here. and then we can see sort of the case history. So it's following within the same sort of page layout as everything else. The thing about our case layout is this is a one layout to suit everybody. So we've got all our different client interaction teams using this case tool. So that's why you'll see a lot of different fields here for, I guess, different case types. A little trick is if there are fields or sections that you don't need, so for example, order and return, if that's something that you'll never ever look at, you can click this button here, that will hide that there. Maybe I don't need product information as well. I probably don't need that there or that one there. And that way it's actually cleaned up my view. Now if I actually leave that case view and go back into another one, those actually stay closed. So at least you can customize your case view a little bit better. So with cases, they follow through certain statuses. So this status here, this case has been closed. Okay. We use case types and reasons here, and this is actually what triggers our rules for assigning cases. So if you create a case and you choose a case type and a reason, depending on what you choose, it will send it through to the necessary to a different area. If you get stuck and a case gets transferred to a queue that you don't know, you can shoot me a message and I'll actually transfer it back into your ownership. So I'll now move into reports and dashboards. So with the information that you see here, and I guess the one thing that I look at when I'm building reports is that I sort of think about what type of report am I going to be building. I'll just grab this record that we're looking at before. Just as an example, and we can see these are the fields that we have here and their values in there. So if I wanted to make a report that looked at cases, and then in particular, let's say cases that have been closed by data, then I would come in here and go New Report, and then look for a case type. So these are a report type. The report types, what it does is it brings together these different menus into a report type. So what we have is customer support reports, and I can look at all the case types that are here. Alternatively, I can quickly type in here case, and Salesforce will automatically narrow down this menu here for us. But let's just do a simple case report. Click that there, come over here and hit create. That brings us into the report builder. Now, the report builder is great. I move away from Excel as much as I can because having the information in here and having your reports in here, it's all live, it's all real time. If someone hits save on their record, then that automatically reflects in your reports when you refresh them. So you just drag your fields across from here into here, and I want to put data, I think that's the correct spelling. This is why I keep a separate tab open. So then I can confirm that I've spelled it correctly. So data EBAN, so I'll hit OK. And let's see, I want to look at everything that she has closed. So you can type in closed, and that says equals, and then you go search. It will give you the pick list true, so we want everything that she has closed. Show the details here. So now we have a quick list that shows everything that data is closed. And what you can do is if you pull this together like this now, you can then run the report. And this takes it out of the preview mode into the full report mode. And that's been done. We can see all the information here. We can now actually click onto this here, and this drop-down menu is a little bit annoying. We can then actually see the record here that we've opened up. And we can also click on that one there, which will actually take us into Dita's profile. We could click on that one there, and that will take us to the account. What all the reports do immediately is when you go to the bottom of the report, it tells you how many records. So since Dita has been with us, she's closed off 1,300 records, which is pretty good. If we want to sort of define this down or make our report look a little bit better, we can customize it a bit further. We can change our view. So this is a tabular format, normal sort of spreadsheet mode. We can go into a summary view. And we can say we want to look at when she's closed it. Sorry. Type in closed. Date and time closed goes in here. As you can see, just drag and drop it where you want it to go. And then you can group dates, calendar week, month, quarter. Let's go by month. So we can actually see in January she did 15 records, in February. Now remember, this is a preview. It only shows a limited amount of records. We wanted to add some visualizations to this. I love the pie chart. Add a title to it, show values, give it a bit of a hover. We can move our legend down the bottom. You can see that's constantly changing as I change it here. Okay. And then once I'm happy with that, I'll run it again. Now we have a quick visualization of Dita's closed cases as she's closed them in the month. We can then come down and we can see when she has closed different cases. Now if we don't want all this nitty-gritty information here, what we can actually do is press this one here, hide details. And that'll give us a quick summarized view so we can see date, time, close. So this can be applied to any type of report, cases, opportunities. We can report on everything. And reports, once you sort of build up your reports, you can ask me to create a dashboard for you. So the dashboard is basically a set of reports that have been pulled together, and all their graphics are put together here. So, so ignore a lot of the stuff on here. This is a dashboard that I'm currently building. And I've got information here looking at our service queues and growth of cases and percentage of cases closed, utilization of our reasons, utilization of our case types. So it's a way for us to look at everything to do with our service. We have dashboards that are built up with reports for even chatter. So if I go a little bit further down. I'll just refresh that one there. We can actually look at people who are using chatter the most. People who are putting posts up there, joining groups, that sort of thing. When you go into a dashboard, press refresh. Otherwise, you'll be looking at data as of the date that shows here. And when you do hit refresh, just give it a bit of time because it's actually running every single report and updating the information. So we can see here information on chatter, total chatter groups, top 10 users by followers, top users posting the groups, group members, different posts. So we get a lot of different information here that we can report on. So, everything within Salesforce can be reported on, from a decimal point to someone writing in a description. We can find it with our reports. So it's a pretty good intuitive system. So I'll move away from here and I'll get into header. So I'll go into activities. Now, I sort of gave you a quick view of it before, but I'll sort of run into it a bit more. So a task is something that you need to do. A task could be, a follow-up reminder. It could be a phone call that you need to make, or a phone call that you did make, or something like that. So a task is basically, like in your Outlook, a task that you need to do. The other side is an actual event. So an event is a meeting, I guess something that you attended that happened. Now, the sort of lines between how you use tasks and events can sort of blur, but an event ideally would have a start and an end time. We can calculate how long that went for. We can also invite other people, so you can I can invite another user. So if I wanted to look at users, and I've got Grace sitting next to me. Here we go. Can invite her to this meeting. Insert. Done. And then what will happen is this will come up here, and this will actually show if Grace had her events listed in Salesforce, it would show how busy she is. And then I could make sure that I slot her in there. The other thing that you can do with tasks and events is you can put attachments in there. So you can hit attach files, choose a file, grab that one, attach it. I think this is a little bit big, this file, so it might be taking a while.
The biggest file.
Yeah. And then done. And then you'll see that that's in there as well. So, you know, if there's important documentation that needs to accompany this meeting, then you can put that in there as well. Add a bit of description, add a location, subject. Now, if we wanted to relate it to a specific record, so I want it to be part of my account. I've already got it in here because I've used it recently. And if there's a contact, there's my test contact that I can add it in there. And then we can choose when this is actually going to occur. So you click that one there. You come over here and set it as far into the future, or you can set it, hit this one here and make it today. Give it a time. When does it end? You can do it the same day, or you can do it in the future, and give it a time as well. And then once that's all been done, you can give yourself a reminder when you want to be notified. 15 minutes before, an hour before, 8 hours before, if you're that keen. If this is a recurring, then you can press that one there, and it will actually create a recurring set of events, weekly, every Monday, to the end of this week. And then once you hit save, it will actually save this as a record. It will have all that information in there. It will also send Grace a message, or whoever else that I've put in there, and we've got our meeting booked in there. Now, I'm not going to do it because then I have to go in and delete it, but that gives you an idea of how the functionality works, and all that attachment functionality works the same across all the other accounts or contacts if you're adding information in there. I'll now go and show you Chatter. This is sort of starting to get really big. We have people across the organisation, and sometimes we work at different times, and we work on different information. So this is why we have Chatter, which gives our business a social media tool. And you'll see that, and this is what I always say, I spam everybody because for some reason I'm the only one on Chatter. But you'll see my face on Chatter quite a bit. And I'll put up posts. If you go to my group, Office Max Administrator Tips and Tricks, you find out all the latest that's going on within Salesforce from my point of view. It'll also give you a back to basics guide, so some terminologies, those sorts of things. You can go in there, you can click that there. It will actually bring this up here. And you know, if you want to save the environment, you can read it right from within here, and you can have all the information that you need. If you want to, then you can download it. Going back into the feed, this will give you your most recent information. If you want to see a full Chatter view, come into Chatter over here, and you've got everything. You've got all the updates that are coming up here, everything that's happened. This is showing me all the people and groups that I follow. So if there's something that I want to follow, let's see, Darren. I don't think I'm following Darren. I am. But if I wasn't following him, I'll unfollow him. Okay, then I would have that there. I would hit follow. And what that does, it means that whenever he puts an update, that will come up in my feed. What it also does is in this chat box on the side here, it means that Darren will show up in here. If he's online, then I'll be able to see him there. So, I mean, I can see George is online. I can say, hi, George. And hopefully he comes back. This is the pop-up. I've got a chatted desktop, so if I get a notification, then it will actually come up as a pop-up. It's something else that we're looking at rolling out to the business, so stay tuned.
But we haven't got that.
Not yet. Not yet. We will be doing it. So going back to Chatter, if you want to follow particular groups, you can click on here and see groups. We have different groups for different things. So there's my group here. We've got all Office Max groups. So if you want to sort of say something and push it out to the whole organisation, all of our members, then you can go in there. We have different groups for different areas of the business. So you can go in there if there's something that you're not following. I think these are my recent groups. If I go to all groups, something that I'm not following. I think I'm a member here, but yeah, you can just press that button there and you can follow it. It's the same thing with people. You can follow people, follow groups. You can follow records. You know, this has given me a recommendation of things that I should follow, but you don't have to do that. If you're putting a post up, once you sort of put your information in there, maybe I want to tag someone in here, so I'll just put at. Do an @ symbol. I should start typing. Here we go. I'm on the Wi-Fi, so it's a little bit slow. Now what it's done is it's tagged George in there. And what you can also do is you can have topics. So if I put #Salesforce, and what it will do is it will create it will add this to a Salesforce topic. And then when I share that there, it will come up here. It's tagged George in there. George will get a notification. It's also created a topic for Salesforce. Now, if you click on the topic for Salesforce, this has looked up the topic Salesforce, and this actually has everything that is linked to that topic Salesforce. So if you sort of use a bit of a creative mind, you can see how this could work in your group. If you're creating a group, or you want to create a group for your team, you can come in here, press New Group, give it a name, hopefully something a little bit more creative than this. Now, you can make it public, everyone can join it, or if you've got some confidential information in there, you can make it private. And that way, you can choose who gets added in there. Once you've created a group, you can then add members. And from here, you can type in people and add them to the group. It's as simple as that. The next part, which I'll show you, is ideas. So ideas, we've actually started a feedback forum. If you've got ideas for how you think we should improve Salesforce or develop it to make it work better for you, and put it in here. It's a voting system, so you know this one here is a new idea that's come through from this Patel, and it's asking about adding more contact numbers to our case layout. So I've promoted that, I've voted that up, and then we can put some comments in here, and then as the interest grows, I'll come in as an administrator, and I'll say that you know we're considering this, or this is actually going to be delivered, and give you a bit of an update as to what we think. So if you have any ideas for Salesforce, because obviously I don't know your business, and once you use Salesforce, you'll sort of see how we can be developed better to suit you and your needs. Let me know, and I can put that in there for you, or you can put a post in there and get people's interest in there, and it will grow as popularity, and we'll develop it for you. So that's ideas, and pretty much everything with Salesforce. I mean, obviously I can go on about Salesforce forever. But I guess what I'll do is I'll open it up and let you guys grill me about everything Salesforce. So, do we have any questions?
I do.
Yep.
Can you take us through a scenario if we want to look up from our point of view, say a customer, say we get a big tender coming in for a client, say Atlas, for example. So if we want to have a look for that client and see whatever is online about that. So do we just go into search?
Yep. So I probably should have covered this before. The search bar sits at the top, and this will actually search everything across here. So you said Atlas?
Yes, it's Atlas.
I type in Atlas here and hit enter. This will actually search everything to do with Atlas. Okay. What we have here is it's gone into the different menus here, and it's found these records. So it's found more than 25 account records, case records. Actually open this up to an even bigger search if I hit that button there, and now it's actually searched the additional areas here. So if we're looking for Atlas, hit show more. This actually has all the accounts that have everything to do with Atlas.
Okay, so if you do Atlas tenders or RFPs maybe, and that sort of, so it's the same type of search tool as that you
Yeah, that's right. What I would say is if you're looking for a specific Atlas account and you know the Pronto ID, put the Pronto ID in here and you will actually find it directly.
Where do you get the Pronto ID from?
From Pronto?
Oh, okay. We don't use Pronto.
You don't use Pronto?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
If
If there's a specific account you want to put it up against,
you can probably still find it in there.
oh look, George's come back. Said hello.
A bit slow, George.
Had to find the class.
So you just go, you'd probably, but
So
I would have.
you can choose an account here. You can choose an account here, which is an Atlas account, and you can view the hierarchy. This is probably not the best one, but if you look at, let's see, a parent account, and view the hierarchy against here, you're able to see all the related accounts to it. But if you're working on a tender, it would generally be related to an opportunity, and you would be working with a sales team member. So I would find out what opportunity that relates to, and they'd be able to provide you that information.
The Pronto information, you're saying?
Yeah, the Pronto, or even the Salesforce opportunity that it relates to.
When you say Salesforce opportunity, so is that a number or is that
the opportunity? Yeah. So these are the opportunities here that relate to this Atlas account.
Oh, okay. In your reports, okay.
Yeah.
You've gone to market. Yeah.
We got any other questions?
James, it's still in there. I just wanted to know if you get your lead in the top bar there.
Sorry. So I've just got a question here about Salesforce reminders. When you set a reminder, when it hits the reminder time, you get a pop-up on your screen that actually tells you when you can choose to dismiss it, or you can click on the link and go in there.
Okay, so you don't have to be in Salesforce, you could be working in anything.
Yeah. If you're in Salesforce and you have a reminder, it will pop up. If you're not in Salesforce, it won't come up. In the future, we'll be looking at ways to integrate that with our Outlook.
You got chatter emails being forwarded through Outlook?
We have chatter emails will actually come up in your inbox as a daily digest. So you get that come through every morning. Yeah. And sorry, we had a
has left the conference.
We had a question on the line.
Yes, James. I just wanted to know how you get the leads up in between the home and the accounts on the toolbar at the top.
Oh, okay. Yep. So this here is sort of a personalized setting here. You can press this plus one on the side here, and this shows you sort of all the menus that are available to you. But what you can do is you can press this customize my tabs. So these are the tabs that are available on my menu at the top here. And these are the ones that I don't currently have in there. So what I can do is I can click something like campaign, and then I can pull that across onto here, and I'll say, well, I'm going to work on campaigns a lot. My preference is to have it. My preference is to have campaigns right there. Obviously, home page needs to be there. Once I hit save, and campaigns actually shows here. So you can customize that to the way you need to use it. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
No worries.
Good.
Any other questions?
James, hi, this is Aylmer here from Sydney. James, in opportunities, when you go into the main account page or the bill to page, and you have all the opportunities over there. Now, currently, the way it's set up is it goes from the oldest to the newest. Can that be flipped up? Because I mean, if you have a couple of opportunities and then you've closed, so the ones you've closed are readily available when you log in, but then then you've got to start searching for the new ones which are way down, and sort of you've got to expand the.
Okay, so. When you're viewing the opportunities, it will always, it looks like it's set up to show you the oldest through to the newest.
Okay.
We can change that. What I would recommend is that you put that through as an idea, because it looks like it's been defaulted. The way the system is set up is being defaulted to go oldest to newest. So this one here, it's only got 3 opportunities, so it seems to fit within this one here. But I understand that as this grows, it will actually have a show more button.
Yeah. I mean, it shows another 10, shows another 21, and then, I mean, you keep searching for it when all the closed ones you can see easily. So, okay, yeah. I'll put that on.
Yeah, put that on as an idea, and share that around the group, and we'll push that through as a development.
Okay. Another question is how can I find an old case?
An old case?
Yes, to basically to see whether it's been closed or what exactly has happened to it.
Yep. Every case has a case number.
Okay, so if I don't have a case number.
You don't have a case number. Okay. Yes. Well, if you know something about the case, if you know what account it was for, you can look up the account. And find all the cases related to the account. So if I knew that I was looking at McDonald's, there was a case, something to do with McDonald's, this would actually come in here and find all cases that have something to do with McDonald's. And then from here, you can actually search in more detail.
Okay.
Alternatively, if you know who was working on the case, then you can search up that term McDonald's and then search their name. The other thing that I recommend that you do is if there's a case that someone was working on, and I'll need to find an existing case. So if there's a case that's being worked on here, and what I can do is press that feed button and press follow. When I press follow here, any changes that happen on this case, I'll be notified.
Oh, okay.
Charlene Fox
Thank you.
has left the conference.
Any other questions on the line or in here? I must have explained it really well.
James, I've got one. It's Neil. If any of your appointments, if you don't have Salesforce open, does any of your appointments go back? Can they be linked back to your Outlook?
At the moment, no. We are looking at an integration that will be fixing that. I can't really give you an ETA at this stage. So at the moment, if you do have an appointment in here, you'll have to duplicate it within your Outlook.
So if you put it in Outlook, will it be copied to Salesforce? No, not yet, or not the other way at all?
Not yet.
Okay. Another quick one, activities. What are the activities of the court in the activities area every day? Are they just tasks?
It would be tasks that would generally be looked at by the business.
Okay, so that's the only thing that's caught in that activity, not everything else we do, not cases, not opportunities, emails and stuff, no.
So, I mean, tasks and events are generally used by the sales teams.
Yep.
Cases are actual customer interaction. So cases are used sort of inter-departments and the initial interest, initial inquiries coming through from the customers from external, either through the phone, through the call centres, or by emails to the client care email, and they come through as cases. So we're looking at both cases from a service standpoint and activities, tasks and events from a sales point of view.
Thanks.
Trying to find that.
Any more questions?
So
Wow.
digest.
I guess that means that everyone's going to pass the test. If you don't pass the test, then we revoke your license.
Cool.
There's no test, but obviously, you know, drill me as much as you can about anything to do with Salesforce now. Alternatively, you know, look me up and add me to your follow me, and that way I'll show up in your chat box here, and then you can shoot me a message like I've done George over here. Ask me any questions. Alternatively, if you go to my profile, or I'll use George's profile, for example, then what I can actually do is hit send a message, and that will actually send a message within Salesforce, and I'll get that as well.
Actually, James, just a quick one. If
Yep.
we post on the main screen a question to you, that goes out to everyone. If we post a question to you through the chat, does that just go to you?
Yeah, if it's in the chat, that's just going to me.
So no one else sees it, so we can ask something there. Okay.
No one else will say that.
That's really stupid, you know, that no one else will. We think it's stupid.
James, can I just ask, is there any manual that backs up any of the functionality of Salesforce anywhere on the system that we can access?
Yeah, so if you look up my group, the System Administrator Tips and Tricks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's admin, there we go. If you go into this group here, this has everything from my point of view. I've got a couple of job aids on the side here. So Back to Basics Guide. This is a good one for you guys to look at after you sort of go back to your desks or get off this call. It has all the information, terminology, logging in, those sorts of things. I've also got some other job aids here about activities, upgrades that we've done, chatter. We put a video together for our ideas launch. So we've got a lot of different bits of information here. So if you follow this group, press the follow button on there, you'll be up to date with any new changes that happen in here, as well as being able to access the group files.
Awesome. Thanks for that.
No worries. All right, well, is there any more questions?
No.
All right, well, I think I might close this one out then. Thank you, everybody, for coming to this meeting, and yeah, if you have any questions, then you know how to get me. Take care, guys.
Thanks, James.
Thank you.
Bye. Michael Kennington.
Has left the conference.
Paul Toms.
Has left the conference.
Michael Hill.
Has left the conference.
Still